Hello, mate. What's that? No, he hasn't. Schofield gone. Well, he's going to present Holly now. Oh, not that Schofield. Right. Let's get a video done. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Football Social channel with me, Neil, aka the Sky Blue View, where today we're going to be looking at the sacking of Huddersfield Town head coach Danny Schofield. Now, a statement was released by the club this morning which reads, Danny Schofield has today been relieved of his duties as head coach of Huddersfield Town. The decision was made after Tuesday evening's Sky Bet Championship defeat at home to Wigan Athletic, which took our competitive record during Danny's time as permanent head coach to 1 win and 1 draw in 9 competitive matches. Narcissus Palach and Paul Harsley will take temporary charge and lead the team into Saturday's league game at home to Cardiff City. Everyone at the club would like to thank Danny for his hard work and dedication and wishes him all the very best for the future. Now, Danny was appointed as head coach in the summer after Carlos Corberán left the club following the agonising playoff final defeat at Wembley in May to Nottingham Forest. It would be a summer of transition, to say the least, with Levi Colwill going back to Chelsea, Toffolo, O'Brien moving on to Nottingham Forest in that joint deal. So some key players really left. And if you look at their incoming transfer business, Schofield didn't really go out and do too much. They brought back Anjorin, which I think is a fantastic signing and a great song as well, by the Huddersfield fans of him. But they look a little bit lacklustre compared to where they were. The appointment of Schofield, I think was a bit of a shock. He's a club legend at Huddersfield. There's no denying that. He played nearly 250 games over a 10-year span as a player from 98 to 2008. But he's only ever been caretaker manager. And one of those was when Danny Cowley got sacked and they lost 4-1 to Millwall. So he's not exactly got a great pedigree. I know he's been working with the youth development at Huddersfield and has been looking after their B team. And it's interesting to see if he will go back to that role now. I don't think he will. Things have not been great on the pitch for the Blue and Whites. They've only won 1 game this season, as that statement said, and that was at home to Stoke, where they won 3-1. But they've lost 7 out of their 9 other competitive games, including heavy defeats, 4-1 at home in the Cup to Preston. That 1 draw they did get was a 2 draw with West Brom, which was a great result. But they've really struggled this season, especially at home, which won't be good for the Terriers fans. I think it's fair to say that time was running out. And you go look at friend of the channel, Brad Barbs, link will be in the description for Brad's channel. He said in his matchday vlog from the game with Wigan Athletic that 2-1 defeat, which was the catalyst for Danny leaving, that if Schofield stuck around, they would really struggle to stay in the Championship, and I think that's right. I think that leaving now, Schofield will not have tarnished his legacy with the Terriers fans and the club too much, and they can just get on with moving on and finding a new manager. It's only 9 games. He's probably gone, do you know what, this is a bit too much for me, let's step away, and that relationship can stay intact. But who will that new manager be? Well, let's look at the bookies odds, and they're clear to see who the favourite is. At 1-2 on, former manager David Wagner is the odds-on favourite. David Wagner, what a manager he was first time round with the Terriers. They were 18th in the Championship when they appointed him 7 years ago. He went on to lead the club to a historic promotion to the Premier League with that penalty shootout playoff final win that we all remember. And they finished 16th in the Premier League in their first season, which was a fantastic job for a club like Huddersfield who'd never been at that level in the Premier League era anyway. He's since had spells at Schalke and Young Boys, but he's currently out of work. Could he be the man to take the job? Or does he risk tarnishing his legacy in a similar way that Schofield potentially did? Looking down the list here from the sack race, notable other managers on the list are Duncan Ferguson, Everton legend who's been very vocal about wanting a managerial job himself, Chris Hughton, who left Forest last season but has a proven record of getting out of this division, did it with Newcastle, brilliant manager, also was at Brighton for a bit, Norwich, he's been around the block, He's done well at this level. Sean Dyche, who, let's be honest, I think every Championship fan would want in charge of their club. What a job he did at Burnley. And it'd be great to see him back in the game. I think the game misses a character like Sean. But again, speaking to Bad, he doesn't think they've got the money for Sean. And the two other names that are in there that are quite favourite are Michael Carrick, the former Manchester United and England midfielder, who had that caretaker spell at Old Trafford, and Anthony Barry, who is current first-team coach at Chelsea and with the Belgium national team. So he's got some great links there. Obviously, you know, Huddersfield have had that link with Chelsea, with Carl being on loan there last season and drawing there again. There's obviously some sort of connection with the two clubs, so could it be the next stepping stone in Barry's career? Who knows? Personally, I think it's a no-brainer to go for Wagner. I know there's I mentioned it a few seconds ago about the reputation and what he did first time at the club. But having said that, the shot in the arm that it would give that club, him walking out of the John Smith Stadium being announced as new manager, that momentum would just really rise around the place, and I genuinely think it could be the catalyst that gets this side firing again. You look at some of the other names in Duncan Ferguson, Michael Carrick, Anthony Barry, great coaches, I'm sure, but Huddersfield have just tried this tried and tested this untested method with a young coach, and it hasn't worked out. Surely they're screaming out for a bit of experience. So for me, Hugh and Dyche could be serious contenders, but Wagner's got to be the man, hasn't he? Who do you want to see, Huddersfield fans? Who do you want to see stood out on the John Smith Stadium with that blue and white scarf above their head, leading you for the rest of the season? Let us know in the comments down below. And while you're here, don't forget to like and subscribe. Really appreciate you coming to join us down the Football Social. Until next time, see you later.